Wait for it. I think we might be in. What's up, guys? Let me know if you guys can hear me, see me. I think it's all set up. I got this split screen going on, and it is awesome. Man, I learn something new every time I get on here. Plug my phone in. Oh, yeah. What's up, what's up? This thing's got a crazy delay. Hopefully, it's not that big of a delay. Sweet. Clayton says we can hear me. That means we're set. We'll give people a couple minutes to jump in. I should probably have my phone over here. I'll tell you what, I'll just plug it into my laptop. There we go. Hope you guys are having a terrific day. It's Tuesday. It is now my day off. So that's amazing. Been up since 7 o'clock. Helping my wife out, get her out to work. And then I've been editing video all day. All day. If you guys knew how much goes into editing, it is the biggest time sucker ever. Like, I'd rather be working on the motorcycles that I have, that I need to work on. But everything I work on gets shot or recorded. Most of it. 90% of it is like at least content worthy, video worthy to help anybody out. So it's like, yeah. A lot of recording. I have tons and tons of content that's just been stockpiled that I'm trying to work through. But I'm gonna set a timer on here. Try to hit this for an hour. Hours seems to fly by pretty quick. So we'll do Bank. For anybody who is new, welcome. My name is Cody Richards. I am a Red Level certified Honda technician. Have been for a couple of years now. I've been working in the motorcycle industry for Honda specifically for probably almost 10, maybe over 10 years now. I feel like every time I say that, it's always not enough time, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, so I run this channel. It is a DIY motorcycle repair channel that I try to bring a different aspect to repairs from a professional standpoint, from what I do every day, which is my day job, working at a Honda motorcycle shop. We work on everything that Honda creates except watercraft. No matter what year, whatever, you got to know it all. So, or at least know your way around it all. So welcome to the channel. Every month I do a live Q&A once a month, and never know what day. So, I advise you to hit up the subscription channel. And why is this telling me there's a warning? There should be a warning. It says warning. I don't know. I don't even know how to get out of this thing. I don't know why it says there's a warning. Okay, anyways. Yeah, so I try to do I really try, guys, to do a video once a week. Either it's going to come out either on like a Friday, possibly Sunday or Tuesday, and then I try to do a live stream once a month. So I've been really trying to do that. I also run a membership site. I call it the MotorcycleMD Inner Circle. It's for people who want to have my help with anything that they're working on, or the help of any of the other members who are in there. A lot of great people in there. I'm actually getting ready. I might be capping it off soon because it's grown so much, which is awesome. But obviously, if I let it go too big, I can't help everyone or give my attention to people. So I may be capping that off soon. So if you're interested in it, check it out. I have some links in the description. about it. I also have full carb cleans for singles, twins, inline fours. I'm working on a V4 set. It's right there in the background. It's taken a lot of editing time. I'm doing a little bit differently this time. I'm having chest mount camera as well as a side angle. So I'm uploading tons and tons of content for that V4 carb teardown. It's for Magnas, V65, 45s, whatever V4 system that Honda put out. This will cover it. So I'm working on that. That's to come, as well as a master class that I'm working on that will just be a one-stop place for any and all Honda carburetors. I've been working on that for a while now. So that's coming down the pipe. But yeah, the Inner Circle is super helpful. We have a private Facebook group where we can upload videos, images. I can kind of get, like, if someone has a question or you have a question it's something that I can shoot real quick, I'll shoot it and then boom, put it right up on there to help aid and guide anybody, as well as a Inner Circle community, which is like a forum-based thing for all the members to, again, contact me, talk to me, reach out. And then there's hours and hours and hours and hours of content that's on there that is not on YouTube. We did a 350 teardown from frame all the way up. We're still working on it. I just put out a suspension 101 course with them to kind of going through the basics all the way up to, we're going to get into some pretty heavy stuff. So that's brand new on there as well. It's just tons and tons of content for everything you can think of. So be sure to check that out. I do have some descriptions and I do have some links in the descriptions below. But tonight, let's see, what time is it? We got 8:03. We'll give people 2 more minutes to kind of jump in here. For you, if you don't know how this works, I usually try to hit on some kind of topic to kind of kick us off, get the brains churning, and then I open the floor up to you guys. I try to get through all the questions. There's a lot, which is awesome to have all you guys here. Welcome to everybody who's just joining in. I try to I go all the way back up to the top and start kind of going through the questions. So I'll try to get through them all. That's what I try to do. Try to give me some good context of your question. If it's hard to read or hard to understand, I might just have to skip over it. So try to give me some good context of what's going on. Feel free to ask while I'm talking. I don't really care. I'll try to get through them. See, tonight I do want to represent a company who I love. If you guys love coffee, I love coffee. Drives me every morning and usually midday. But there's a company, Joy Bean Coffee Company. Okay, this is a nonprofit coffee company, and to be honest with you, I feel like most nonprofit stuff, you're kind of like, okay, I'll buy it because I'm supporting something cool. But the product may not be all that good, right? But I love coffee and I drink it all the time, and I hate anything that's super acidic, that tastes fermented, that is like really fruity and like has high acidity. I just hate it. I hate it. There ain't enough creamer in the world that can solve that. I like coffee either black or with a little bit of sugar. And in some cases, I'm actually lactose intolerant. So if it's going to be creamer, it's going to be something that's dumb, right? Joy Bean Coffee Company, they support, let me see if I can read it. Children's Ministries of Metanoia. Okay, that's out in Nicaragua, but all proceeds go to helping build parks, build worship centers, build all kinds of stuff. It's a Christian nonprofit organization. I have a link in the description. Joy Bean Coffee Company. This is my favorite one. Hazelnut Supreme, rich toasted hazelnut, and it is absolutely phenom.com. Okay, it's amazing. I love it. Again, fully nonprofit, helps kids out over there who are less privileged. So let's jump into it. Let's jump into it. So tonight I want to talk about, usually I'd be drinking coffee this late, but tonight I'm not. I'm actually going to have a beer. So hope you are too. We're going to be talking about purchasing used pre-owned motorcycles. Obviously new motorcycles, you can go on the questionnaire about, is this bike worth buying? A lot of people usually do their research when they're buying a new motorcycle, so I didn't think that would be a helpful topic for new motorcycles. If you have a question about them, I'd be happy to answer for Honda. But Spring's coming. People are going to be buying some bikes, and a lot of people buy stuff that they don't know what they're getting into, right? So buying used and pre-owned motorcycles. Okay, so I'm going to put this in a scenario where I'll be going to look at a motorcycle, okay? From my perspective, I can pretty much, if it's something that I'm familiar with or a bike that I want, really want, or whatever the case may be, I'm pretty much prepared to do whatever I need to do on the bike. But most of you guys are not really looking into getting some huge project that you can't ride for a year. You know, you want to get something that you can get on and not spend too much money with, and maybe have a little project bike. But project bike and a bike that needs some maintenance are two different things. So if you're gonna buy a bike that you want ultimately to be running, right, so you can ride it, enjoy it, a couple of things that I look for right off the bat. Okay, because there are things that you may not be able to do, like doing tires or maybe doing. I'm sure you might be able to do fork seals, but there's just some things that can add up super quick when you go to like a dealership or a mom and pop shop. First thing I look at is, depending on the age of the bike, is going to be inside the tank. This can really go for any year motorcycle, from 2000s up. A lot of times people will let a bike sit. They'll let a fuel injected bike sit for a long period of time. Let's say they go on leave, or they just don't want to ride. They had one little bad accident, and then they're done. It sits for 3 or 4 years. Open the tank up. First thing that I like to do, let me see the key. Open the tank up. Look inside. You can smell bad or good gas, and you can get a visual inspection of what the tank looks like inside. Okay, that can be a determining factor right then and there. Right, if you look down there, there's a little crust all over the metal. You're asking for issues, okay? Because then you think, okay, well, if the tank's like that, and the carbs are like that, or the injectors are like that, or the fuel rail's like that, or the fuel pump's like that, it's not just there. It's always further down in, okay? What else? So forks. I'll look at the forks. If those are leaking, that can, if you don't want to do the work, that can be a $300, $400 trip, depending on where you go, how much you want to spend, and what dealerships mainly charge. If you're going to go somewhere cheap, remember that you're going somewhere cheap, okay? Typically, fork jobs will cost $300 and above, typically. If you find someone who can do them for cheaper than that, make sure they know what they're doing. Not dogging anybody who works from their garage and they're really good at what they do and they want to charge a cheap price. Good on you. Just be mindful of that. That's a $304 cost. So you can immediately say, okay, your price is at $1,800. Now I just knocked $200 off of that. Look for pitting on the forks. Okay, so pitting high up, not necessarily by the fork seal, because that's usually lubricated by some type of oil in some cases, and it's the section of the fork that's right by the seal that gets the most attention from the bike going through its suspension travel. Up top, look for any pitting, any crazy rust spots or pitting like that. That sucks, man. I mean, yes, you can clean it up. Yes, you can file it down, buff it up, put some polishing compound, and it looks brand new. But it's going to rust again the moment you let it sit outside for a couple of days. Okay, that stuff, it doesn't go away unless you get that stuff re-chromed or whatever. Again, yes, you can clean it up, you can work with it, put a new seal on it, but it's just those things that just kind of drive me nuts over time, especially when you go to new fork seals on them and it's a bunch of pits that you're running the seal that you don't want to run the seal down over top of. Dent in the tank, that's an easy dollar signs being subtracted off. Tires, obviously, if you know how to look for date codes on the tires, look for them. A lot of people do this 5-year rule on tires. I don't really go by it too much, but some people who are sticklers and they are really adamant about having a nice pair of tires on, which is important, that can play a factor. Some shops will fail state inspections because of drywall inside tires, even if they have tons of tread on them. Okay, look through and kind of feel all the switches. Right, if the turn signal switches, all that stuff is real sticky and cruddy. It's probably been outside. That's a factor that you might want to get into when you go to making sure it works. If you want a bike that's running, what I like to do is ask the person not to fire the bike up before I get there, right? Because a lot of people will fire the bike up and it's nice and warm, and you're like, hey, can I get the key? I want to start it up. And they start it up, and then boom, it fires right up, and it sounds amazing, right? But they're not saying that they also had to jump the battery with their car and then use full choke for about 10-15 minutes until they can finally get it to idle correctly, right? I like to show up there on a cold motor. Using choke to start a carbureted bike up is not uncommon. That's why the system is there. It's built so it can be used, right? So using choke is not the issue. It's just if it takes, let's say you buy the bike, right, and it was running fine the day you got it, because maybe you bought it on a warm motor, and it took the guy 3 minutes to constantly to finally get it started up. 2 rides later, your battery is dead because you're doing the exact same thing. Because there may be some idle circuit clogging, it may need some plugs, the gas is bad. Those things can be annoying. You know what I mean? You can ask questions like how old's the battery. A lot of people's first comment when it comes to a new battery is, "Oh, it's brand new," or "I just got it." I give that date and time anywhere between a year and 6 months, to be honest. Okay, someone says they have a new battery. I feel like they have this. I have the same problem. I'm like, my wife's car's battery's dead. I'm like, I just bought that battery. If I look at the date on it, it's like, oh, 2016. Okay, I didn't just buy it. It's just human error that we tend to have when it comes to buying new things. We think we just bought it. Same thing goes for motorcycle batteries. Could be old. What else? Obviously, heavy rust. Looking for any dings and marks on the handlebar grips, the levers, right on the edges of the corners of the headlight, maybe on the rear turn signal. Looking for any kind of scratches that are going on there, because if there's anything there, the bike's been down. It's been down. Okay, we do insurance claims all the time. Very rarely does someone run into the side of a building and then it's just like the lever. Obviously the bike has probably been down, which can play a factor, especially if the exhaust is a little scratched up and things like that. What else? What would I pay attention to? Gas, tank, forks, lights. Kind of drawing a blank right now. Obviously, if you can test ride it, that's fine. If you feel comfortable test riding the owner's bike, lug it down a little bit. Start off kind of slow, go into like third or fourth gear, and kind of give it some throttle. See if that clutch is slipping at all. That could be a factor. If it's winding up real tall and all of a sudden you're really not moving to match that RPM sound, there could be a chance that the clutch is slipping on it. Make sure it does shift through all the gears, obviously. Obvious things like checking the brakes out and bring a little flashlight with you. If you bring a flashlight with you, a little pen light, and you start looking around, people are going to be like, oh, okay, so this guy knows what he's looking for. Even though you may not, just be shining around, just looking all over it. Don't even say anything. Don't say a word. Just let them talk. That's what I like to do. Let them talk. Sometimes they'll start unveiling stuff that you aren't even asking about. You're just sitting there, okay, cool. Yeah, one time me and my buddy pulled the motor out to fix the crankshaft. You're like, why? Boom, red flag. They'll kind of tell on themselves sometimes. I know I have. When I went to sell a car, you think that you're becoming friendly with them, and all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I've had this problem with this so and so. You're like, oh, I should be telling him that because obviously I'm an honest seller, but some people are not honest sellers. Oh, and this is one thing I did want to bring up. do some research on the bike that you're about to buy. Not necessarily like its specs and its horsepower and its torque and all this stuff. Just the way that it looks. Okay, the way that the bike, the color scheme on it, the way that the stickers are laid out. If you can have a picture of their bike versus the one that came out in that year, you can kind of match all that stuff up, right? Because people paint bikes all the time. Why do they paint the bike? Okay, why does the tank not match the side covers? Or why is there no pinstriping around this tank? There should be pinstriping here. Did you wreck the tank and you bondoed over it and painted it, and now on the inside there's a big crease on the inside of the tank? One story about this is young kid out of the military bought a CBR, I think it was like a 05, 06 CBR 600 RR, right? Sport bike. Young military guys usually love those. And it was all white, and it was just beat up. Everything, all the plastics were held on by zip ties. The whole front end seemed like it was kind of shifted to the left. It just looked like it was just, the plastics were just thrown on, right? And the moment, and this is just because of the knowledge that I've gained, but the moment he said 06, I immediately recognized that that's not an 06 fairing. Like, Honda did something specific, usually year to year when it came to the sport bikes. They put more plastics on it. They buttoned them up a little bit differently. There's no two headlights. There's a single headlight, or there's no big intake on the front mouth. There's a number of different things that I kind of picked out, but I just kind of let him, he wanted all new plastics on the bike, all new plastics. Okay, so I took the bike in, we rode it up, I put it off, and a couple days later, I'm looking around, I'm kind of with my flashlight, I'm like, this is not an 06. Like, why is he saying it's an 06? And on the VIN sticker, it said 2006, but I'm like, this is not an 06. And the VIN sticker was not in the right place. Okay, normally they put the VIN stickers on either the right in a certain spot, as well as they stamp on almost all motorcycles on the front neck. This sticker was on the left in a really weird spot, right? So on some CBRs it is on the left, right? But it's not in the spot that this one was in, which kind of drew a red flag. I was like, there's something up. Sure enough, I looked at the front of the neck. VIN number completely ground off. It's gone. Okay, so and then you can actually see the sticker where a sticker was on this frame, right? The original VIN sticker. You can see like the little like sticky residue, but the sticker on the other side, man, it looked perfect. Someone did a great job of putting a false sticker on this frame, but it looked great. It wasn't peeling up. It looked like it was supposed to be there. Turns out that entire motor and fairing kit is from an 08. Okay, kid thought he bought an 06. Obviously, we don't ask people if they have the title every time they bring a bike in, but that was the case. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, but this is not what you think it is. I hope you didn't spend a lot of money on it, this, that, and the other. Turns out it's really junk. It's got the wrong master cylinders on it. It's just someone just botched this bike together, and then sold it off, which is part of your responsibility to look at the VIN number, make sure at least the VIN number matches. That's important. Yeah, I think that's it. That's usually what I look at first, or just all those things that I described, as well as just kind of work your way around the bike and let them decide on what they want to tell you. And then you can kind of haggle with them. Everybody who has a set price is typically gonna come down on the price, and you can kind of gather together some things and kind of point things out. This is wrong. This hardware is missing out of the headlight. This is the wrong hardware for the seat. Like, why are all these things wrong? Because you want a good bike. You want something that hasn't been molested too much. Make sure there's no fuel leaks, that kind of stuff. So, I think I might come up with something later, but that's my advice for you guys. Check the oil level, obviously. Check the coolant holding bottle. See if there's coolant in there. If there's no coolant in there, when's the last time the heck that stuff's been switched out? And is the motor running solely off of no coolant if it is a liquid cooled bike? Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, 35 minutes. Let's get into some questions. I feel like I ended that kind of quick, so more room for questions. So, welcome everybody. Everyone who's been piling in here. I've seen this comment section just like this whole time. So I feel like there are either tons of conversations going on or lots of questions. So I'm pumped about that. So starting from the top. Let's see. What's going on, Mr. Boo Boo? I'm doing great. Thank you. What up, AICD 1999? Mr. Lex, what's up? Hughes, what's up? Michael Barnard, best octane gas, 1985 Honda CB700 SC. I run premium in all of my bikes. Okay, I run premium in my 1971 450, my 92 Nighthawk, 2003 Magna, 97 Nighthawk, all premium. In my experience, premium gas lasts twice, 3 times as long as far as regular gas goes. You put regular gas in a carburetor, let it sit for a week, that stuff is yellow. Straight up, almost like Hercules green in some cases. Premium, I've had premium in a bottle, I think it's gone now, for like a month. It looks brand new. Try premium in it. I mean, your tank ain't that big. You ain't spending that much money on gas. And make sure you're not obviously not noticing any like odd sounds, any pinging or anything like that. Abnormal noises. Then I would switch back. Sometimes they just will run better on regular. You can do either or, but I usually run high test in my bikes. All right, James, you are correct. That's what we talked about. Duck 2669. Hello, I have a 1980 Honda CB650. It has set for 20 plus years. Ugh. Cleaned up the carbs, which were ugly. Got it running, but put independent air filters. CIT. Oh, probably cut the pipes, which were rusted. Had to go bigger jets. Okay. Maybe you'll question we'll pick up. Yeah. Got it running and rode it. My number 3 cylinder takes a minute to warm up. When it idles, I hear a knocking sound like bottom of motor. Think it's clutch, but it doesn't stop when I pull the clutch handle. Okay. Number 3 cylinder takes a minute to warm up. I would look at the plugs and also idling there what sounds like a glunk ever saw. Oh, I think this is the same guy as last time with the glunks. I think this is the same guy. The CB650s, I think this includes your model, have idle jets that are not removable. Okay, this is a jet that is in the carb and it's recessed in the carb, and you can't get it out unless you use like an extractor and then ruin it. Okay, the likelihood of that idle jet being clogged is at its highest. Okay, especially with the time that the bike sat. I just helped a member out with a 650. I think it was an 81, 82 650. and he cleaned the carbs. I mean, he did a great job on the external and the internal of these carbs. Every idle circuit was clogged, 100%. He could get it to run, but it was like wobble, and it was die. Every idle circuit was clogged. You have to get in there with either like a little wire, something that measures like smaller than 0.32 millimeters, something long, like about as long as your finger, and run it inside of there and really soak those things. I have a feeling that your idle circuits are all, some of them are clogged up, especially number 3. If, yeah, check your plugs out. If number 3 is looking white on the spark plug, then it's lean. It's probably idle circuit issue. That glunk or clunk could be backfiring through the carbs that you're hearing, or you could have a crankshaft issue. Like, unless you get the bike running on all 4 cylinders, you got good compression, no leak down or a little leak down, you could have crank issues, and you won't know that until all 4 are firing and it sounds good. Okay, if you put it in gear, you can try like putting it in gear, holding the clutch in and applying all the front brake and kind of slowly letting that clutch out, right? So you're kind of loading up the transmission or that crankshaft. You're putting a lot of strain on that clutch hub, and see if it gets like and see if it gets louder, because you're loading it all up. And that's one way that we had to check one of the CBRs that had a crankshaft recall. You had to put it in gear, hold the front brake, slowly let the clutch out, not bam and letting the clutch out, but you're slowly letting it out to where it kind of wants to move a little bit forward, but you're stopping it, and just kind of play with it right there for a second. That loads it up. If the noise gets louder, then you have a crankshaft issue, and that sucks. Okay, moving on up, moving on down. V4s are a hot mess. They are a hot mess, dude. I thought that inline 4 carb teardown video was a long one to edit. Nah, bro. This V4 one is taking me a while, because I want it to be perfect for anybody who gets it, so that's probably my own fault. Chris Corbin, first time catching me live. Love the vids. Thanks, brother. Matthew Kennedy, Inner Circle is an extremely huge help for going through an entire bike, front to back, top to bottom. Incredible videos. I can't wait for those fork videos, Cody. Dude, Matt, thank you. Thank you. That means a lot that you gave it a shout out like that. Hopefully you saw the newest Suspension 101, where I kind of dove into some, it was like an hour long, but we have a lot more to go through that, Matt, so thank you. Amazing sandwich. V4s sound really good, especially if you get a custom exhaust system. That's fact. They do sound really, really sweet. Clayton, first carbs I ever rebuilt were on an 84 Sabre VF 700. Yeah, 2 years ago. I ride the bike daily, and I have never had to touch them since. That's awesome, Clayton. Those bikes are cool, man. The VF 1100s, dude, are monsters. I like them. They're scary. They're like super tall and like skinny. Dude, the shaft drive, you can rip on those things. They're scary fast. A lot of low end, really. Michael Schaefer, if you ever had to try to flip a motorcycle, what one would it be? I've been doing some 90s Nighthawks and had some success. A nice quick flip, easy flip, fun flip, straightforward. I would say any of the VT750 Shadows or the 1100s. They're phenomenal bikes. It's really hard to kill them. And they're either single carb or twin carb, straightforward. You can still get tons of parts for them. They're still making them. A lot of them are fuel injected now, but they made them forever. That's like the Honda Civic of the motorcycle world. Great bikes. They're great starter bikes as well. So that's kind of an intrigue for people who are entering into the market. If you can pick up a nice one for $800 to $1,000, you can probably spend some time on it. Spend maybe $300, $400, and sell it for 22. Now, I mean, this is based off of Norfolk, Virginia prices, but and it seems like everything's different everywhere else. But that's a nice, fun, easy flip. A lot of them are shaft drive, not messing with any of that stuff. Just really cool bikes to kind of get in and get out and spend some time on them. Valve adjustments are easy. When you get into like sport bike stuff, you are asking for it, honestly. Very few sport bikes live. It's because of stupidity or bad drivers, and it's unfortunate, but it's hard to find a nice, decent sport bike from back in the day in the 90s, early 90s, late 2000s, that's in good condition that hasn't been botched. You know what I mean? Undertail kits and just I'm talking about like stock. It's hard to find them. Like try finding a beautiful, gorgeous CBR 600 F4i. That's all factory plastics, hasn't been dropped. I mean, I've seen some, but it's rare. And those bikes are beautiful when they're all factory. And they're great running bikes. Let's see. My Lex G, how do I link up on Inner Circle? In the description, I have a link to the information video about it. Get linked into there, and I'd be happy to help you out with anything you got, and hopefully you enjoy all the content in there, man. It's pretty cool. Xavier Pineda, I appreciate you giving your professional tips, tricks, and insight on all the motorcycle-related topics. I have an 83 Nighthawk 650. People love those 650s, man. And examples on your Nighthawk help me so much and understand. That's awesome. Awesome, Xavier. I'm glad I helped you out. Amazing Sandwich, Clayton Stevens, what jets are you running? Mario Robinson. I have a 99 Honda Goldwing GL 1500. I noticed when I start my bike, there is a drone. There is a drone going on for a couple minutes until I guess it warms up with the choke on or the carb sinks. I don't know. Mario, you might have mistyped, but I don't know. I don't know what drone. I can't even put that into another word. There's a drone going on for a couple of minutes. Some kind of noise is what I think. I don't know. Amazing Sandwich. I hope it's amazing. I have an 84 Sabre. I'm an 84 Sabre, and when I apply full throttle, it hiccups and loses power, especially at higher speeds. Do you think it could be bad jets? 84 Sabre, when I apply full throttle, it hiccups and loses power, especially at higher speeds. Amazing Sandwich, I would suggest looking into your fuel pump output. I have a video on that. I believe those Sabres have, I'm pretty sure they do. They have a fuel pump. It's not a fuel pump like you think. It's more of like a external fuel pump that is going off of a signal from, I think it's going off a signal from coil power. Could be wrong. That sounds weird, but it kind of thumps, thump, 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 thump. It might have some kind of pressure thing on it, but I would look in the output of that. Full throttle. If you're idling and you go whoa, and all of a sudden it bogs down, I think that system may have an accelerator pump with it. Bad jets, possibly. They're not bad, but they may be partially clogged. I don't know any more context outside of how long has the bike been sitting, when's the last time you heard it run right, have you been to the carbs, what jetting is in there. As far as all that stuff goes, I don't know. But sometimes what you can do is give it a little bit of choke, right? A little bit of the enricher circuit. Start gagging it. Give it some of that enrichment circuit or choke that it has, and see if it kind of clears up. And then all of a sudden it's revving up and it's fine. Obviously at higher speeds, full throttle, you don't really want to do that because it can all of a sudden bogs down on you and you kind of freak out. But at idle, not on the bike, you can kind of do that trick. the likelihood of there being some kind of auto circuit clogging is high. As far as high RPM goes, someone could have some weird stuff going on. There could be a tear in the vacuum slide piston, or your fuel pump could just not be putting out enough volume for what you're asking for it. That happens a lot on 1100s. You get up to 60 mile an hour, and it's just like, whoa, whoa, and it won't go anymore because the fuel pump's like just putting out all that it can, but it's already junk. It's the output, the volume output. The output of the volume, the volume output is not high enough, not to spec. Your manual will tell you that, and also show you how to do it. David Pestrachik, don't buy a Suzuki 1981. Just 550 from a guy. Okay, yeah. What he said. Daniel, anyone have any input on single-cylinder BMW GS bikes? I've only ridden classic Hondas before, but want a fun around town bike. I heard they're really easy to work on, as far as like valve adjustments and that kind of stuff. Other than that, I don't know too much about BMW stuff. They're pretty quirky. Charles' 5-year rule is a good rule. We're probably talking about tires. We gotta start getting through these 20 minutes. Oh, we got tons of time. Tons of time. Thank you guys for hanging out so long, man. You guys are terrific. Amazing Sandwich had some tires that were 9 years old and they're still good. I have tires on my 450 from '88. It's like running a pencil eraser on the concrete, but they look good. I'll get some new tires on there eventually. I don't ride it too often. Let's see. John Blackburn, if my bike shakes lightly, vertically, periodically, check your tire pressures. If the tires are old, they're getting pretty worn out. They're getting time where you're like, I should probably get some tires next year. It could be tires. Most low speed shakes or shimmies is usually tire related, air pressure, or the tire's worn out, and now it's just kind of showing its true colors from what's inside of the contents of the bike. Rear tire and front tire are trying to track, right? And you got this tire is worn to the left, this side tire is worn to the right, or just weird situations like that, different air pressures. And then kind of track and do this little kind of walk. Just to cover this real quick, handlebar shake on motorcycles is more common than you think, okay? So, if you're on a big, fully dressed bike, like a Goldwing, and if you take your hands off the handlebars because you're like, oh man, I've always wanted to do this, no hands on handlebars, and all of a sudden it starts going to this whap, 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 or it's getting sketchy, and all of a sudden you put your hand back on there and it stops, it's not uncommon, okay? It's not uncommon. A lot of the geometry of the motorcycle is built around the suspension of your body, your arms, your forearms, your strength. Sometimes on those bikes, you can just put like a finger on the handlebar and it smooths out and it's good to go. Okay? Honda, mainly what they tell us and what we've kind of discovered is that when you have your hands on the handlebars, even one, you are a part of that suspension. You are a part of the weight of the handlebars, all that stuff. Okay, they try to balance them out with putting weights on the handlebars and try to smooth things out. But if you start diving into, yes, you could have loose steering head bearings. You could have bad wheel bearings. I haven't seen bad wheel bearings cause a shake or a shimmy, personally. I haven't seen it. I've never been working on a motorcycle and someone says, I have a shake, replace the wheel bearings, and that solves the problem. I've never seen it. Someone can probably say it that they have on the internet, but it could be the way that the tire was not seated on the axle when they reinstalled the wheel. There's so many factors. So, anyways, that's a side rant. Victor Hugo Vega. Hello, Cody. Victor, you've been a viewer for a long time, man. I appreciate you. I want to thank you because I was able to fix my bike of a friend due to the advice you gave me in the YouTube comment. You are awesome. Thank you very much. You are very welcome, Victor. I don't remember what the question was, but that brings me great joy. Just I mean that wholeheartedly. I never really know where these answered responses go, so it's nice to hear back. Let's see. If the motor doesn't crank, walk away. Yeah, doesn't kick through. Unless you feel like spending a bunch of money, walk away. I don't even care if you can fix a motor by yourself, dude. If you're like me, you're like, oh, I'm gonna do new bearings. Oh, I'm gonna do all new seals too. Yep, left and right engine case bearings. I should probably replace the chain sprockets too. Got sprocket looking a little worn. Might as well do the rings. Might as well do the piston. Might as well do the valves. Might as well, and then you're just like $1,000 in, still came in right. um, Phil, have a look at high mileage wear signs. It's true, very true. David, brakes. Stuck looking for sticking brakes or expensive master cylinders. Caliper rebuilds are a lot of work. Easy, but a lot of work. And some are so pitted they need vapor honed and cleaned. Very true. Very true. If you look at a bike that's been sitting outside a lot and you look down at the brake caliper, the front brake caliper or the rear, and the brakes are slightly worn, you can still kind of sneak in there with a flashlight and look at the pistons that are pushing on that brake pad. If you see a piston that looks like a ball of rust or pitting, rust spots all in it, it's been outside. It's been near the water, whatever it may be, high mileage, running through rain, whatever. Those pistons can get expensive for sure. Yeah, very good advice, David. So you guys are talking. Whoa, the thing just jumped. Where did it go? Dude, that thing just jumped all the way to the bottom. Jaws. The young guys talking about tires, brake chain, belt, sprockets, pulleys, exhaust. Let's see the home shop. It's kind of a mess right now. There you go. There you go. All kinds of stuff. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bikes I'm working on now. Shooting content for, fixing. It never ends. Never ends. And then I have to go to work and do the exact same thing. Matthew Kenny, what beer am I drinking? This is a local place here, O'Connor's, El Guapo Agave IPA. It's really good. It's a good go-to IPA. I don't really like too many IPAs, but this one's kind of sweet and full-bodied, and it's great. And O'Connor's is awesome. If you guys are ever in the area, check out O'Connor's. It's one of our biggest breweries here in the 7 cities of 757. Shadow Saber 1100, a good bike. What repairs to watch out for? The 1100s are great bikes. They are great bikes. Okay? People run them low on oil because bikes do burn oil as much as you wish they didn't. People run them low on oil and then they'll wear out the cam chains on them. Those things and the HVA system. That motor is practically bulletproof. Okay, it's got a hydraulic valve adjusting system, which I love. Same with the Nighthawks, no valve adjustments. Okay, it's all hydraulically controlled by oil. It's gotta be clean. It's gotta be at the right pressure. It's gotta have healthy, clean, good oil. No one likes bathing in dirty water, so keep that in mind. But if you have to do anything to the motor, like water pump, like tensioners, like the seals up top where the valve cover is, those little circles that leak over time, that's just the nature of the beast on those. They do seep a little, especially if you overheat them and not run coolant with them. You got to pull the motor, dude. No matter, almost, that's the one thing about it. If anything that you got, like, one of the guys at the shop just did a water pump on one. It was leaking by the seal, which is common, usually on bikes that get overheated and are not well kept. I've seen them that don't need water pumps for a very long time because they're kept with fresh coolant in them, good oil, keeping them nice and strong. Again, things go wrong, and the motor has to come out to do any of that kind of stuff. So the motor is meant to not be tampered with, which is great because at last they sound good. They got great power. You put a pair of pipes on them or not, and they're great. They're great, comfortable bikes. I love them. I wouldn't mind owning one. What brand of gas? Oh, dude, I don't know. I'm gonna try to answer this like I care. Dude, I don't know. I never had to switch gas because it was giving me a problem. I also don't go out of my way to go to a specific gas station. I don't like going to like Sam's Club gas stations or like Walmart gas stations. I just don't like going to those places, even though you get great deals. You know, points off for spending $1,000 or whatever. I just don't. I stay away from them. I usually go to like an Exxon or a BP is what's closest to me. I like Exxons. I could care less about any advertisement that they put on TV about what they put in their gas, because you don't know. Honestly, truly, you don't know if it's helping or not. You're just going off of what they say. So yeah. Kevin King octane. I use high octane. Shell V power is all I use. Clayton. There you go. Clayton uses Shell V power. It matters to him, so it should matter to you. Or me. I guess it should matter to me too. Ethanol free is awesome for carbs and no buildup. True. The closest non-ethanol gas here is like an hour away though, so bump that. Just run the bike. Just ride the bike. Let's see, we got 10 minutes left. Okay. Russell. Sataro. What's up, Mr. Cody? Your videos are great. My bike is an 88 Yamaha Radian. Never heard of it. But your carb videos helped me tremendously last year. Thank you for what you do. You are very welcome. Very welcome, sir. Gas. Hi, I have a Yamaha V-Star 650. And now I want to add a Cafe Racer mod seat to my frame. How should I start? I'm going to get you in touch with a guy who I like. Not really in touch with him, but go on eBay, okay? And I want you to look up the name. This goes for anybody looking for cool seats in that Brat, Tracker, Cafe, Bobber, whatever style stuff that you're trying to change on your bike. I know it's very, very popular right now and has been for a while. This guy makes great seats. I mean, they're a little stiff, but they're awesome because you don't have to do any modifications. He makes the stock seats low profile, and he puts like a dope little diamond pattern or whatever, black, white, tan. He don't care. He'll make them in any color. It is overseas. Takes forever to get it sent to you, but he's fair priced, And it's just a great connection who I've made. I'm gonna put 2 more of his seats on 2 other bikes I'm working on. A KZ400 I'm building out for a local guy, and a my 350. I have one of his seats on my 450. They're awesome. They're just a little stiff. That's my only complaint about them. I'm kind of a stickler for everything. A little stiff, but they're comfortable. And I mean, if you're building a cafe racer bike, you're not looking for comfort that much. Let's be honest. Oh yeah. So the name of the guy, anybody can write this down. And if you do write it down and you buy a seat from him, tell him that Cody from MotorcycleMD gave you a connection, because that would be cool. Because maybe he'll be like, oh, sweet. That guy, I sold a seat to that guy a while back. He might not remember me. We actually talked for a little bit because he wanted pictures of my bike to use to sell the seat that I bought. Let's see. Sorry. His name, he sells all my seats on eBay. You can kind of go through his like eBay store. I don't think he has a website, but the dude's legit, man. I love his stuff, and he'll make whatever you want. It's Day Trader, Day Trader, DayTrader. You know what that is, dash 07. Okay? Day Trader dash 07, the numbers. Right? Look him up on eBay, look through his stuff. He may not have something specific for your bike, but what's cool is that he makes these awesome looking seats based off of the skeleton of the originals. So they just bolt right up, man. They got kickstands if you want an older one. They're the same tunnels and everything. It's awesome. What a cool avenue, and that dude should be huge, I think, personally. Instead, you go on like Dime City or Nickeltown Customs, and you gotta like hack the frame out, to make it look cool. So, yeah. Cody's voice is soothing to gearheads. Question: how many of you guys listen to podcasts? And how many of you guys would enjoy listening to a motorcycle-inspired podcast? That's like decent. That's like possibly me and one other person. Just throwing that out there. Might be something down the funnel later that I would like. Cause I love podcasts. And there's not too many good ones for motorcycles out there. So, what are you guys' thoughts? Yeah. All right. How much time we got? Getting close. I don't know how to pull this up. Oh, cool. We got 5 minutes. Wow. I'm sorry. I just gave you a really dumb face. I have a ZX6R, an absolute monster. 95 ZX6E. Absolute monster. Yep. Sorry, I'm having internal dialogue. Thank you for helping my 85 650 SC back on the road after sitting for 13 years. Appreciate your dedication to helping all of us out. You are a legend. Thank you so much, Jeff Patterson. Kevin King, Day Trader. Yeah, you might know him. Where am I at, man? Every time I scroll, it like jumps. I want to get to all these. Matt, you graduated from MMI program plus Honda program, fellow trade graduate, UTI grad now, heavy duty equipment and diesel. So your videos keep me informed and wrenching on gasoline. Yeah, I am an MMI graduate. I got out of there. I only did the Honda course. I was going to do a bunch more, but then I found my gorgeous wife, and I had to chase my wife around. You know, I had to move back because she's amazing. And I graduated Hondo at silver, and then once you get into a shop, you got 4 years in the shop, and then you go to school with them outside of school, and then I became red level. I've been red level for a couple of years. MMI is awesome. MMI is a great place. It's a great place. I went to the Orlando campus. Thrasher, my bike RPM will idle and then increase rapidly with giving it gas. I think vacuum, but I don't know where to start. Start at the intake boots with some starter fluid, have it idling, start spraying around all around the intake boots and see if that increases the RPM. Check your carb sync out. That could be way off as well. Yeah. Kevin King. Oh, never mind. Carburetor, spot Harley. AICD. I just bought a Harley Heritage 114. I don't know what that is. Can I still be in an inner circle? Dude, absolutely. I don't know how much I can help you with like information about your bike, but absolutely, dude. The inner circle. I have people with Kawasaki, Suzuki, Yamis, all kinds of stuff inside of the inner circle who I try to help out the best that I can, and try to give them some kind of information. But I am limited, obviously, for Harley stuff in particular. I don't work on them. Kevin Kev, what up, bro? Just got home, was listening to it in the truck on the way home. Awesome, man. Thank you. Kev's a great member of ours. He's actually the admin. Helps me out with a lot of stuff. Heath Fryman. All right, we're almost through this, and I'm going to go over a little bit. I have a 1979 CX500C. This is the parallel V-twin. It's turned sideways. Not parallel, vertical. Or no. Yeah. Parallel twin. Vertical twin. Yeah. It will start but won't idle for more than 30 seconds, with or without the choke. Bike sat from 1982, still just a few days ago when I finally got the carbs cleaned and put back on. You could have awkward. It's my timer. Nice little strum pattern. 30 seconds. It will without choke, with or without choke. That's odd. Check the spark plugs out. See what they're telling you. If they're jet black, it's too rich. If it's white, they're lean. With or without choke. That's a little weird. I feel like it would do something. It would do something if that was the case. You could have, yeah. Sat since 82. Man, the valves could be sticking on it. There's a couple of things. Typically, it boils down to carburetors, man. Typically, it boils down and you want it to be carburetors. And I know that you just got them back together, but try some starter fluid, man. See if you can keep it running off starter fluid. Not a lot, just a little bit to give it some go. Yeah, that's odd. Yeah. I mean, it could be ignition, but 30 seconds. I mean, if it's like, yeah. Is there anything you would prioritize in changing on a 2014 bike? 9K miles, Yamaha Bolt. Yes, I would change all the fluids out. Brake fluid, coolant, if it's got any, rear brake fluid, final drive, if it's got any, I would change all the coolant out, start fresh, boom, right, brand new. And then monitor it from there. Like on new bikes that are on the showroom floor, if it sits for 3 years, we have to change all the fluids out. Honda wants us to do that. Best places to get hoses and wiring for an 84 Honda 450 CM. Vintage Connections makes some pretty awesome stuff. Jo. They have some cool wiring. Dime City has some pretty fancy wiring, but I like Vintage Connections. They have lots of cool bullet connectors, lots of kits and stuff like that. Kev, if you run those 80 Nighthawks low on oil, you will trash the big end rod bearing. You preaching, brother. All right. Okay. That's it. Yeah. So, all of you fine people, again, thank you for hanging out. I went over my time. Hopefully my wife brings me some Chick-fil-A. That'd be awesome. Really like to eat dinner, but I'm hungry. But thank you guys, man, so much for coming and hanging out on this live stream. Again, shout out Joy Bean Coffee Company. Support some kids in Meninoya, Nicaragua. Nonprofit company, and their coffee it's amazing. It's so good. I'm not kidding. I love it. And be sure to check out the Inner Circle. Lots of stuff goes on there. Lots of stuff that's not on YouTube. And you also can get some help from me. Like if you have questions here and I kind of answered it, but you really need some more hands-on help, check out the Inner Circle. If you have any carburetor, single, twin, inline 4, and V4 is coming out soon, I have carburetor videos, full teardown, hours of content, just step by step how to clean all of that stuff out, how I would do it. I also offer carb cleans. If you want to hit me up through an email, I'll leave a comment or just go to my website and find a way to contact me there. I do carb cleanings professionally here on most Honda stuff. I can do other stuff, but I try to stick with Honda as much as possible. I can guarantee my work in most cases. Again, Inner Circle, let's see. Next up we're working on, I do have some product reviews coming your way. PropTech, you've probably never heard of them because I've never heard of them. And they sent me their stuff, and it's pretty interesting what they have to offer, like electronic carb sync tools. I worked on part of the video for it. They also sent me some more stuff that I'm a little skeptical about. But anybody who sends me stuff for me to review, I always let them know that if it's junk, people will know, because I'm all about making sure that people get the best value for what they buy and what they get and what they see. So that's coming out soon. It's a pretty cool kit. It does more than you think it does. To be determined. Still have to finish the video because I want to do it on another bike and see if it does what they say it does. Okay, so that's coming down the pipeline. Yeah, and that's it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, joining in, and t-shirts, limited stock. I know I haven't pushed this in a while, but I have a couple of the older ones and some more of the newer ones, and I'm selling out of all of them because we're going to come out with something new, or we might come out back with these ones. But they're like, well, actually, you can't get this one. This is an exclusive owner's color scheme. You know what I mean? Gray and white. It's all mine. I have black and gray. But super cheap right now. I think I took like $10 off of them. So I'm trying to just get rid of them. Check out the website. Go to the shop page. If you want to grab some gear there, get them. They are exclusive because they may not be made again in that scheme or whatever. And I'm just trying to get rid of them so we can do something new. Because, yeah, they're cool. And they're awesome. It's like you. So, subscribe to the channel. I think that's it. I'm done. I'm tired. I'm going to go and edit some more content for you guys. Okay, so have a great night. Cody from MotorcycleMD, trying to bring you guys some quality tips and tricks for your next build or your daily rider. See you guys next time. Later. Yes, I'm sure I want to end.